The pro day cycle continues as we approach the 2021 NFL Draft. Now just 4 weeks away to the day till round number 1. Joined by Paul Dottino, I am John Schmeelk. Today, we're going to take a look at Florida and Notre Dame. Paul, one of the top maybe 5 picks in this draft could be a tight end. Not something you usually see. That's Kyle Pitts out of Florida. Why? He's a unicorn.
You know, people call me a unicorn. It's kind of a special nickname because unicorn, you don't find many of them. So being able to do other things that other tight ends can is kind of special.
And Paul, that's why he's a tight end that could go in the top 5. This guy can do it all. If he wanted to be a wide receiver, he could be a wide receiver. He checked in at 6'5", 245 pounds, a 4.44 40-yard dash. You think of Mike Evans as that perfect big wide receiver in the NFL? His athletic numbers were better than Mike Evans.
He's truly a remarkable athlete in every way, shape, or form. He talks a lot about comparing himself to Darren Waller of the Raiders because a lot of people have made that comparison to him. I think he could be a heck of a lot better even, to be quite honest with you, John. I think if you really want to nitpick him just a little bit, he'll have to add a little bit of strength to his blocking. But it's not that he can't block, because he can. And then the other thing, I think, he'll need to refine his intermediate and then short pass routes a little bit. Because the truth of the matter is, at Florida, he hasn't really had to work on his skills very much because he's just so dominating.
And Paul, to your point, he was asked what he needs to improve on the most. He said, getting my hands inside when he blocks. He does block. He can play in line. You put him on a cornerback, he'll big boy him. He'll do the back shoulder catch, contested catches. He'll run past safeties and linebackers. So there really are no good answers for covering Kyle Pitts. And it helped him having a teammate like Kadarius Toney at wide receiver, Paul. A big-time playmaker. He could be a late first-round pick, perhaps an early second-round pick. 5'11", 193 pounds, a 4.39 40-yard dash. When he has the ball in his hands, he is a terror.
He's what you know as a guy who is just really, really tough in open space. That's the thing about him. You want to be creative and get him the ball where he can make his quicks and his moves. Now, he missed the better part of 2 seasons with injuries, John. So the medical staffs are going to have a lot to say in those draft rooms.
All right, very quickly, one more guy with Florida we should touch on is Kyle Trask. We know about the top 5 quarterbacks in the draft. He's in that next group with Davis Mills, with Kellen Mond. Could be a day 2 pick.
Yeah, big, strong, 6'5", I think is where he measured in at. You know, he's one of those guys who's not very spectacular in a lot of things, but he's got some pro dimensions that people will like.
All right, let's jump over to Notre Dame, Paul. As usual, the Fighting Irish with a lot of players coming out in the draft. First on defense, Jeremiah Usu Koromoa. This guy is only 221 pounds and 6'1". He's a linebacker, but he's that modern-day fast, mobile linebacker that can pretty much do it all.
Yeah, you know, even Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly says you have to have an idea of what you're going to do with him before you draft him. The guy has Gumby-type pliable athleticism. He's truly very remarkable. He's got quicks. He can cover guys man-to-man at the tight end spot or even some out of the slot. He is a very unique individual.
Over to the offensive line, Notre Dame loves to produce top offensive linemen. They have another one this year. Liam Eichenberg, 6'6", 306 pounds, over 32-inch arms, did 33 reps on the bench. He could be a second-round pick.
He's a power player. A lot of people think he's a right tackle only because the traditional left tackle in the NFL has to be a bit more athletic.
And then 2 guys I know you like, Paul. Aaron Banks, the guard, and also Tommy Tremble, a tight end.
Yeah, Tremble is a real blocking machine, and I think that he's been underutilized in Notre Dame's offense in the passing game.
He ran a 4.59. That's pretty good.
Oh, there's no question about his athleticism, and he can go get it. But because he hasn't had a lot of targets, a lot of people don't realize his potential. He's got great upside. Banks is a very, very tough, bullish kind of guard. And he's one of those pure guards in this draft. I think he's gone by the end of the second day. Tough interior guy who really has a blue-collar work ethic.
That's a look at Florida and Notre Dame. For Paul Dottino, I'm John Schmeelk. Thanks for being with us.